Most people think that saving 10% or maybe 20% is a solid goal, but here's the truth. The reason some people build wealth fast isn't because they found a magic stock, it's because their savings rate creates a gap between what they earn and what they spend. And right now, most people don't have a gap at all. In fact, 67% of US workers surveyed say that they're living paycheck to paycheck. So in this video, we're going to do three things. Look at the latest data on how Americans actually save, set real targets that you can use based on your situation, and third, build a simple pay yourself first system so savings become automatic. Because the goal isn't to try harder, the goal is to build a system that makes progress inevitable. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Your paycheck hits, you breathe for a second, then rent or mortgage takes a chunk. Car payment next, and then insurance, and then groceries, and then utilities, and then suddenly you're staring at what's left over, wondering, am I even moving forward or just surviving? That feeling isn't in your head. A major 2025 workplace survey found that 67% of workers say they're living paycheck to paycheck, up from 63% the year before. And here's what's important. Paycheck to paycheck isn't only an income problem. For many people, it's a system problem. Money has no assignment. Spending happens first, savings happen if there's anything left over. And if savings what's left over, most months there's nothing left over. Let's get specific. The US Bureau of Economic Analysis tracks the personal savings rate of how much disposable income Americans save after taxes and spending. And the latest BEA data shows that saving rate is sitting around 4.1% in August 2025 and 4% in September 2025 and 3.7% in October 2025 and 3.5% in November 2025. So if someone brings home $4,000 per month, the national default is basically saving around $140 or less. That's why financial stress is so common, because when your savings rate is that low, you don't have a buffer. Now, let's talk about the first line of defense, the emergency fund. The Federal Reserve's 2024 report shows that 55% of adults said that they had set aside money to cover 3 months of expenses in an emergency fund, which also means 45 do not have an emergency fund. And when it comes to no savings at all, Bankrate reports about 24% of Americans say they have zero emergency savings. So if you feel like you're one surprise bill away from chaos, you're not alone, but you also don't have to stay there. Here's the wild part. We have proof that people can save more. During COVID lockdowns, the savings rate spiked dramatically because spending options collapsed, and it fell again once life reopened. The point isn't let's go back to lockdowns. The point is when spending is constrained by a system, saving becomes easier. So the real question is, how do we build the same effect intentionally without the misery? Let's cut through the noise. Most financial guidance for on-track retirement saving clusters around 15%, often including employer match. T. Rowe Price, the leading asset management firm, regularly frames 15% total savings, including company contributions, as a common baseline target. So here's a practical target ladder. Level 1, stability target, 15 to 20%. This is where you build an emergency fund. Invest consistently and stop living one surprise away from debt. Level 2 target, 20 to 25%. This is where you create real flexibility, job changes without panic, faster retirement timeline, and as well the ability to invest heavily. Level 3, wealth acceleration, 25% plus. This is a serious gap territory. Not everyone can do it right now, but it becomes more realistic as income rises if lifestyle doesn't rise with it. People love asking, am I behind? A helpful framework is the Fidelity Salary Multiply Guideline. 1 time salary saved by 30, 3 times salary saved by 40, 6 times salary saved by 50, 8 times salary saved by 60, and 10 times by 67. Is it perfect for everyone? No. But it gives you a scoreboard, and if you're behind, don't let that turn into shame. Let it turn into a plan. Raise your savings rate, tighten spending leaks, increase your income, because the earlier you start, the less painful the rate needs to be. Now, let's bring this down to earth with a real example. Meet Alex in Dallas. He's making $60,000 a year. Monthly gross, $5,000. Monthly take home, let's estimate around $3,882. This can vary, but this is close enough for our example. The before budget, fixed cost, rent $1,400, car plus insurance $450, gas $150, utilities and internet $300, total fixed expenses around $2,300, variable spending, groceries $400, eating out and going out to bars $600, subscriptions, gym, entertainment $200, total variable around $1,200, total spending around $3,500. Leftover is $382. The savings rate equals about 10% of take home. That's not bad. It's actually better than the national average. But here's the problem. At $382 a month, building meaningful cash reserves is slow. Now let's level Alex up. The new plan without misery. Move number 1, cut eating out from $600 to $200. Not forever, not never go out, just reduce the default. You don't have to go all the way down, but as long as you try to focus on it, it will go down. Meal prep, 2 to 3 meals. Cut delivery app fees. Limit alcohol when going out. That's $400 extra a month immediately. Now, Alex has $382 plus $400 a month, and that comes out to $782 a month. That alone pushes Alex into 20% savings territory. And this is completely doable, especially if you put your focus into it. Move number 2, find another $200, a small win right here. Cancel unused subscriptions, coffee habit swaps. That'll come out to $75 to $100 depending on how often you go out. Grocery planning, plus $50 you'll save right there. One cheap fun choice per week. Another $25, $50 added into your pocket. Now Alex can realistically hit $900 to $1,000 a month saved. That's a 25% savings rate on take home. And this is the key lesson. A higher savings rate is often not about being disciplined. It's about removing the biggest leaks and putting savings first. And that's why I say if you pay attention to it and put focus to it, it'll happen. Even if you don't get it all the way down, it will go down naturally when you try to focus on saving. This is the part that turns knowledge into results. Step 1, pay yourself first. I use a banking system called Relay, and it allows you to actually automatically transfer by percentages. And you can set a auto transfer on payday. If the money never sits in check-in, it can't be casually spent. Step 2, build the financial firewall, emergency fund. The goal, 3 months of essentials, assuming that you're a W-2 worker. If you're self-employed, maybe a little more. Or if you're a single parent, maybe a little more as well. Fed data suggests only 55% of adults have that. So if you're there, you're building what many people don't have. Step 3, attack high interest debt. If you're paying credit card interest, it's like trying to fill a bucket when it has a hole in it. Step 4, track spending, then fix the big leaks. You don't need to track forever, but you do need 1 month of truth. Step 5, increase income, then capture the raise. This is the wealth cheat code. When income goes up, lifestyle stays mostly the same, and savings jumps. Let's recap. Most people save far less than they think. The latest BEA savings rate is around 3.5 to 4.1% in late 2025. 67% of workers say they're living paycheck to paycheck. About 24% of Americans say they have zero emergency funds. And only 55% say they could cover 3 months of expenses in an emergency fund. So if you want to break out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle, you need 2 things: a clear target and a system that makes saving automatic. Drop in the comment down below, what's your current savings target? 10%, 15%, 20%, 25%? And what's the one category that you could cut first? Eating out, subscriptions, car costs, or is it shopping? Drop in the comments below. I read them and I reply to every single one of them.